Good evening, everyone, and welcome to something a little bit different here on the channel. First of all, say hello to Farm Like a Bomb. Welcome along, sir. I see you're already in chat. Thank you for telling me to correct the stream title. That is now done, so thank you. And I'm very well, thank you. I trust you are too. If there's anyone else here, please feel free to say hello. In the meantime, we are going to be tonight playing Elite Dangerous. The game's obviously been out for quite a long time and a bit different from what I've been doing so far on the channel. So I've played a few management simulation games, obviously Farming Simulator and both of SCS's truck simulators. But this is a departure from that in many ways, because this is a game that I would put in a category somewhat different to your standard simulation game. There aren't many games I would put into the category of epic, but this is definitely one of them. And for what's not really a AAA title as such, it's truly impressive. So I hope you enjoy this. I am starting a brand new commander. I'm going to work fairly quickly through the introductory stages of the game, but the purpose is to give people who haven't played the game before a bit of an idea as to what it's all about by starting from scratch. And just really from there be led to a degree by what you guys want to see. So before I crack on into the game, can I just get a confirmation that we're good from an audio point of view so far? I think the levels are okay in game, but obviously if not, please do let me know. And I'm going to start building a commander. Fantastic, thanks Farm Like a Bomb. Farm Like a Bomb even. Keep putting an S in there, don't I? Right. This is quite a processor heavy game, I would say. I have tweaked my settings to such a degree that I think it will run.
Welcome to Morton Dock.
Here we go.
Make yourself comfortable while we finish some preliminary ship checks.
I'll do that.
My name's Theo Acosta, and I'll be running your Pilots Federation evaluation. Most pilots assigned to me earn their license, so as long as you follow my instructions, you'll be a commander in no time.
I take it you can hear the in-game voice, okay?
Before you ask, I may sound like an Imperial, but I'm actually from an independent system.
Of course it's not. My bad. Wow.
Today we'll be covering the basics of flight control, combat, and frameshift drive use. This Sidewinder has been installed with a specialized computer that'll take control at certain points. Mostly you'll follow a series of objectives to guide your actions. These are shown in the info panel at the top right of the head-up display. Okay, you're good to go. Select auto launch from the options ahead of you when you're ready.
Oh, it's making it easy for me.
Ship release confirmed. Auto launch sequence underway.
I take it we can see game now and
The beauty of auto
we're
launch
happy.
is that you can relax and enjoy the view. One of the ways that technology allows us to appreciate the good things in life. Other applicants are departing for their own evaluations, but this isn't a race. Each of the coming stages can be completed at your own pace.
It's a race. We're gonna win. Waiting in queue? Who are we waiting for? Don't like waiting. Thank you. We're out. It's a pretty looking game, isn't it? Just gonna tweak some stuff here.
Remarkable, isn't it? For so long, humanity gazed up at the stars in wonder. We're not distracted by one of Earth's many wars. And now, we glide between them without a second thought.
We do.
Ah, here we are. Your first task is to demonstrate basic ship movements. A ship's trajectory is primarily controlled by pitch, yaw, and roll. Perform each of these now.
I am using a Cytec X52 flight control system, HOTAS system. That's our pitch and yaw and roll.
Good. Now increase your throttle to accelerate forwards.
Alright then.
Decrease
Done.
the throttle to resume a stationary position.
I can do that too. I'm really clever.
Your throttle can also be pulled back from 0 to engage reverse thrust.
I shall do that. I have a secondary control for that, but
As before, push the throttle in the opposite direction to cease moving.
done.
Inputs confirmed. Looks like you've got the hang of individual controls. Let's see if you can put them all together. Your next task is to guide your ship through a series of checkpoints.
Oh, I'm sure we can manage
Head
that.
towards the course, following the target indicator. The course weaves through an orbital structure and is designed for the novice pilot.
Oh. I wanted to test. I've not got boost. Taking
Fly
the
through
time
the
here.
center of the first checkpoint. You'll notice that they change color as you fly through them.
Alright then.
And we're off. There's no time limit, so maintain a comfortable speed while you familiarize yourself with the controls.
Going full throttle, dude. Oh, I can't change any settings.
Rolling and pitching together is the most efficient way of turning rapidly.
You're damn right it is. I'm going to go in central range for that. This is all new. These tutorials were not in the game the last time I started a new game. This is very good.
It's good practice to consider the angle and speed of your approach. See the blue marker beside the throttle gauge? This
Yeah,
indicates the
I know.
optimum turning speed.
Oh. Oh. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, I wasn't paying attention there at all, was I? Oh dear. Oh no. I've lost it. There we go. Uh-oh.
If you feel like you aren't in full control, zero your
Right.
throttle and take a moment to get your bearings.
It's all good. We can sort this. Have I got... Oh, I haven't even got thrusters. Oh dear. There we go. It's all good now. PS4 pad and side panel got Millennium Falcon Star hyperspace button. Yeah. Nice. Where's the target now? Is it that one? Is that the one? Should be green, surely. I think I've missed it. Yeah, it's over there somewhere. What's going on here? There it is. Maybe I went through it the wrong way. I don't know. Not doing very well here. Oh, there we go. I must have gone through it the wrong way. Having got them all mixed up. Ah, we're back on track now. It's all good. It looks good on those settings. It's I think it's a very pretty game, whatever you play it on, I think.
You're approaching a particularly sharp turn, so I advise slowing down to prevent any mishaps.
Ah, it's all good. We've got some shields on. Well, that is quite tight, isn't it? Oh, we're going through the building. Follow the arrows. Oh, through the building again. Wow. This is a definite improvement on the last, on the original chaining. 2 more to go.
Your ship's boost function greatly
Yeah,
increases
I've got
your
boost.
speed, but use it wisely.
Wow.
That's the last checkpoint.
Oh, right then.
The Sidewinder is an agile craft, and you handled it well. A new icon
crashed a
appears
bit,
on the
to be
sensor
fair.
display in the center of your dashboard. This represents a nearby beacon, which you'll soon scan as part of your evaluation.
Excellent.
Target the beacon before we continue.
Now, which one is my target button? I can't remember. That's it.
You're going to use your ship's data link scanner to analyze the beacon, but you need to deploy hard points first.
Yes. I don't want those.
Most external modules are installed on hardpoints, including weapons. Control is back with you. The beacon is relatively small, so you'll need to position yourself close to it.
Give me control then, there we go.
Watch your speed here. We
Ooh,
intend
yeah.
to scan the object, not become one with it.
Fair enough. Ooh, we're going to become one. No, we're not, it's all
You can
good.
scan the beacon now.
Come back, little beacon. There we go.
Well
Oh, I
done.
reversed then.
The data link scanner is a versatile tool that connects with network interfaces and various data points. You need to move to another area of this star system to continue your assessment, pilot.
Oh,
Rather
good.
than travel for the next year using your thrusters, you can employ the ship's frameshift drive to increase your speed by a few orders of magnitude.
I'll do that.
First, ensure that the ship is correctly secured. Your landing gear, cargo scoop, and hardpoints must all be retracted.
Oh, yeah.
When you're ready, throttle up and engage Super Cruise.
Frameshift drive charging.
Oh, I love this game.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
And we're off. Oh, we've got combat training.
All readouts
Boom.
look good. You're now accelerating towards a velocity comparative to the speed of light, measured in C. Supercruise is used to navigate within a star system, allowing you to cover significant distances in minutes. Usually you'll retain control in Supercruise, but on this occasion your ship's computer is following a preset path.
Yeah, it's not giving me any control at all. It's not even got me
This is a
throttle
good
control.
time to familiarize yourself with a couple of the cockpit panels available to you.
Alright then.
In the top left of your HUD is the comms panel, which displays pilot communications and contacts across several channels.
Gotcha.
The top right is your info panel. Entries here mostly relate to your ship's status, computer messages, and events happening around you. Ah, there we
Boom.
go.
Light speed.
Welcome to Lightspeed.
Not many modern games like it now. Oh, nice one. Cheers, Genie.
Watch the distance and speed markers on the dashboard.
How are you,
These
sir?
are used to help you accurately disengage at your destination.
Oh, it's still not giving me any control. It's doing all itself.
Your next lesson will introduce the basics of combat.
Okay then.
Several static and mobile targets will be provided around a decommissioned megaship. We'll also cover some situational information about weaponry and target tracking. And yes,
Cool.
you'll get to shoot those weapons you saw earlier.
Yeah, good. I'm glad, mate. Fantastic. It's the Master Reverser. It is indeed. I've still got no control here. Oh, no.
Astronomical bodies have a gravitational effect on the FSD, reducing your ship's speed.
They do.
The closer the body, the greater the effect.
We know this. I didn't realise I had a proper tutorial now. It's very good. Here we go.
Frameshift drive is disengaged. Welcome to the combat zone. Before you start shooting, however, try analysing the megaship with a data link scanner.
Okay then. Let's target it. Oh, well done.
Well done. It's often worth scanning objects you're unfamiliar with to learn more about them.
Yeah, go for 3 trailers, mate.
Activate your weapons by cycling to a different fire group.
There we
You'll
go.
notice that your weapons are now listed on your HUD. Fire groups allow you to manage your hard points efficiently.
They do indeed.
Let's begin the combat evaluation. Destroy several of the canisters.
Only several. Are you
All
hitting it?
weapons have an effective range, so you may need to move closer here.
I think so.
Your ship
There
has
we
2
go.
weapons installed. Make sure you use both your primary and secondary triggers. Thrusters are particularly
I do.
useful for navigating around large structures. Why not give them a try? Your cannon will automatically reload until the ammunition supply runs out.
Oh, nice. I
Meanwhile,
have.
your laser will fire until the capacitor is depleted, at which point it will need to recharge.
Nice.
Quota achieved. Let's dial up the challenge a notch, shall we?
Oh, go on then.
An unmanned craft has arrived nearby. These drones are used by the Pilots Federation as target practice, and they're quite harmless. To continue, bring the craft into your sights and open fire.
Here we go. Can we get a little... He's pretty much dead. There he's gone.
Target destroyed.
Nice work. You may have noticed that multi-cannons are effective against unshielded targets. Another craft has arrived. This one is fitted with a shield generator. Helpfully, your burst laser is a thermal weapon, which excels at stripping away a target's shields.
Yes, it does. Get rid of those shields, booze. Shields gone.
Target shields offline.
Oh, he's moved away a bit now. Come back, you cheeky boy. Where's he gone? Oh, he's over here.
Target shields online. Target shields offline.
There we are.
Destroyed.
Made a bit of a hash of that.
Consider me impressed. Your final target has dropped into the area. This time your opponent will fight back, but its damage capability has been greatly reduced. Your target will not react until it registers shield damage. Engage when ready.
Alright then. Oh, no, you don't. Whee.
Destroyed.
That was the last target. Even if you're planning on a peaceful career, understanding the basics of combat is vital for a pilot's long-term survival.
This is very true.
For advanced combat information, you should refer to the pilot's handbook, which we'll cover in more detail soon.
I would do that,
The
but
next
yeah,
step of
it's
your
boring.
evaluation involves a hyperspace jump to a neighboring star system.
Excellent.
On this occasion, your ship's computer has selected your destination for you. We'll cover selecting destinations manually soon.
Let's put those hard points
The
away.
indicator on the bottom right of the dashboard is active.
Yes.
This means a large object is in close proximity,
Well,
preventing
that-
you from engaging the FSD.
Quite large.
To resolve this, throttle up to move a safe distance away from the megaship.
I'll do that.
Remember, you can boost to temporarily increase your ship's speed.
I did.
The Maslock indicator has gone out.
Okay.
When you are ready to travel light years in seconds, engage the FSD.
First jump of the day.
Frameshift drive charging.
I'm not sure what the range of these things is. Ooh. Not sure, but the charge time is low.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Hey. Throttle back a bit. You do not want to arrive into a new system too quickly. It can get really hot really fast. Hey, throttle disabled, okay.
Technology has made the task of leaping between star systems appear trivial.
She big.
Never let this simplicity distract from the marvel humanity has achieved. Your next stop
no
is
control
Quello
again.
Station. This time we'll employ the Supercruise Assist module to guide your approach.
Oh man,
Open the external interface panel to your left and select the Navigation tab.
gotcha. Oh
Highlight
yes.
the starport in the location list and then select Supercruise Assist. It's the second option.
Throttle
With
up
the
then.
destination selected, throttle up and aim towards your target. The compass to the left of the sensor display will help you orient yourself. Good. Your ship is now bound for Quello Station.
Well, hey. So this, I presume, will keep me on course and take me out of Super Cruise, which is fair enough, I
Take a moment
suppose.
to review the interface panel on either side of your chair. The
Okay.
external panel is primarily used to interact with the galaxy around you. For example,
that
you
one.
can access maps, display contracts, and review nearby objects. Meanwhile, the internal panel displays information about you and your ship. You can adjust module functions, check your records, and access the codex, among other things.
Good to know. Yeah, it's definitely taken full
New
control
pilots
for me.
often wonder what their first step into the galaxy should be. The pilot's handbook is a great source of help in this regard. It details a variety of professions and how to outfit your ship for them. The handbook also offers advice on various ship functions that aren't covered in this evaluation.
Wonderful.
You can find the pilot's handbook in the codex, accessible on the home screen via the internal interface panel. The trails moving around you are FSD wakes. Your ship is also emitting one. The position of each correlates with their respective sensor display icons. In a moment, we'll be going through the docking process. This will cover docking permissions and a standard landing pad approach. Welcome to Quello Station. This is the final stretch. You'll dock here shortly, but I'd like you to position your ship near the starport's access corridor first. Starport Astronauts are the backbone of humanity's operations throughout inhabited space. They provide mission boards, the commodities market, a number of specialized contacts, and various ship facilities. Most pilot business is conducted via the Starport Services interface. I recommend familiarizing yourself with this screen when docked. Good. Ease off the throttle and hold position here. Oh, and try not to block the access corridor. We'll be using the docking computer for this landing. You can always dock manually in future, of course, but practice in a training simulation first.
I'm glad to see your joystick's working.
All ships must seek docking permission before approaching a landing
Oh
pad.
yeah, we've got to get permission, haven't we?
To request docking permission, open your external interface panel and select the Contacts tab. Then select Quello Station in the list, followed by Request Docking in the information panel.
Getting ahead of the tutorial here, aren't I? Behave.
Docking permission authorized.
Thank
Docking assist
you.
has been engaged.
You've been assigned landing pad 3. The compass will point towards your designated pad.
Okay then.
Ships need to be within 7.5 kilometers of a starport for a docking request to be considered.
Yeah, I made that mistake 1 or 2 times in the beginning. If you forget to ask permission, you very quickly get, how can I put this? Removed from your ship by force. Oh, come on, we can go quicker than this. Speed limit's 100, not 50. And we've got a message. Have we got a message?
The docking computer will now demonstrate a safe landing procedure.
Maybe not.
Let's review what it's doing.
It'll demonstrate a safe landing procedure.
Landing gear must be deployed. The
Yes.
related dashboard indicator lights up if this has been done.
Landing gear deployed.
Yeah, you don't want to forget that one either. It hurts.
In a moment, the sensor display will switch to the precision approach display, which helps you accurately set belly down on the landing pad.
Ta-da. Could have done that better.
Procedure complete. Engaging pad restraints. Let's get your ship ready.
Okay.
Congratulations, Commander. Your evaluation has been successful, and a license is being assigned to you as I speak.
Boom.
We just need to finalize your credentials. Enter the hangar to exit this evaluation. It's time to blaze your own trail across the galaxy. The manner in which you do so is up to you.
Cool. And there we go. I'm assuming that's it for the tutorial. Didn't take too long. So now we are masters of our own destiny. Your commander name is permanent, so we want Phoenix. Let's put the whole thing in. Let's see if we can just have Phoenix. Body type. Okay, maybe I can't have that. Can I have that? Oh no. Oh, there we go. Body type. I'll be a boy. Ooh, Horizons. What's this done? Planetary Ops. Do I want the right, no, I'm not going to do the Horizon stuff for now, so we'll use the new Commander one. Loadout all-rounder. Starting at Matet. Okay. Go on then, we'll have that. Ship name. What should we call the ship name? What should we call the ship? Any suggestions? No? Massey. That's what we should call it. Massey. Oh, why wouldn't you let me? I was typing then. I think that's appropriate. Massey 1. There we go. Great minds think alike. There we are. In our Sidelander ID Massey 1. Boom. Here we go.
Welcome to your new ship,
Oh, he's
Commander.
talking again.
Your pilot's Federation license has been
It's
issued,
got to be in
and
it.
you're free to traverse the galaxy as an independent pilot. Before launching for the first time, allow me to quickly introduce the basic interface for mission contracts.
Alright then.
Almost all pilots will use the mission board at some stage.
Yeah, a lot.
A contract has been assigned to you.
Ooh.
Active missions are displayed in the Transactions tab of the external interface panel.
Oh yes.
This time you'll need to travel to Mawson Dock in the Dromi system.
Okay then.
Select these destinations at the navigation screen of the external interface panel. If you'd like to practice your journey first, I recommend the training simulations accessed via the internal interface panel.
Ah,
To review what we've discussed, select your comms panel and scroll through the recorded text. I'll contact you at Mawson Dock if you decide to complete this mission.
let's do it.
If you choose to take a different path, then I wish you luck, Commander.
Let's do it. Let's open the galaxy map. There's Dromi. Let's open the map and there's our target, Mawson Dock. We'll select it and plot a route. Now, let's just make sure the fire groups are alright. Oh no, I don't like that. So we've got lasers in group A, and I'm going to put data link scanner on trigger 1. In group B, composition and discovery can be on. Oh no, discovery needs to be on 1 really. So we'll have discovery on 1 and those two on trigger 2. And then I'll be happy. Yep. Nothing I need to worry about there. Or there. I think that's it. Rotational correction. Flight assist. Auto dock. No, no, no. That's for girls. Auto launch. That's for girls. Rotation correction we need on though. Hyperspace dethrottle. Off. Super Cruise manual. Doing it properly and it's much quicker. Right. Ooh, unladen. We must have some cargo. Does this mission what we're doing have cargo in it? Collect. No. Oh. Why have we got cargo then? I'm not sure. Must be that we're... No, we've got nothing in the inventory. Okay, I don't know. No idea. Right. We're going to launch. And we're up. Landing gear raised.
Ship restraints withdrawn. Restrict speed until clear of the station perimeter.
And we're out. Oh no. That's not good. This Sidewinder's a bit iffy. I'll get the hang of it.
Access to this station is by
Uh-oh.
authorization only. Leave this area at once.
I'm getting told off now because it looked like I thought I went back in. Need to change my power settings. That's better. What are you doing?
This is a no-fire zone, Commander.
I didn't mean to.
Stow your weapons immediately.
I didn't mean to. I'm new here. Right. G29 pedals for throttle. I don't know, you'd have to hold it, I think.
Restrictions are now lifted. Flight control out.
You'd have to either have something to offset it, or you'd have to hold it. Which would be very uncomfortable given some of the distances you have to travel. You'd want a slider, really. I don't know, you try it. I mean, I'm not saying it definitely won't work. Oh, we got a gift. New paint job, thank you very much. And we have a district permit, good. Joystick has, yeah, I would use the joystick throttle, definitely.
Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, one.
Right, so I'm manually controlling the throttle on the exit of this hypercruise, so I've got it positioned at around 10% throttle. So when we come out, we're still moving, but we're not going to crash into the sun. And let's find the compass point. That's where we're headed. So when you're doing this manually, we go full throttle until 10 seconds is left on the display. Then we go down to mid-range on the blue in the throttle quadrant and hold it there. And that should give you 6 seconds to arrival on the lock. So we've got a distance, it says Mawson's Dock, distance we've got left to travel, and the time to arrive. So we throttle to the blue zone when it gets to 10 seconds and hold it there to achieve 6 seconds. If you go faster than that, you will almost always overshoot. And then we're looking for where the dock is in position to its nearest planetary body, and to get ourselves aligned with the entrance to the dock properly, we need to try and come out of Super Cruise somewhere between the body it's surrounding and the dock itself, which is why I'm going over the top of that moon and trying to come in on a line that's drawn sort of from the planet to the dock. And that'll mean that when I drop out, I'll be pretty much in front of the entrance to the dock. We're going to go almost into, we're going to go through the rings here. Yep, that was a mistake. The dock's on the other side of the ring, so now I'm going to have to fly through them. Or launch out again. Just kind of annoying. I might have to fly through them, it might be quicker. Because we're still... Oh, mind you, we're only 1.9 million metres away, we're really close. Yeah, a bit of a detour. It's all good, get to see an asteroid ring close up. This is where you would come if you wanted to do mining. A ring like this. Oh, mass locked, really? Okay. Just going to keep boosting until we get clear. There we go. Jump back to it now.
4, 3, 2.
I'm going to throttle right down to 10% as soon as we enter the jump, because I know we're close. Okay, we're not that close. Right, we're at 10 seconds, so into the middle of the blue zone to get 6 seconds, and we're close enough to drop. Excellent. And the hole is over here to the right.
DLAC bound Hotel Echo. Comslink established. Please approach the station at a safe speed and give way to larger vessels, Commander.
Frameshift drive charging.
Oh, I don't want to do that. I want to boost. Now we should be close enough here. We're within 7.5 kilometres, so we'll ask for docking permission. We want to enter on the green side if possible, as much as possible. So it should be green goes in on one side, red is the outgoing. Oh, let's get past him, he's fanning. Gear down.
Approach is good. Maintain current heading.
And we want pad 4-4, which is right up there. This is a busy station, there's a lot of open pads. Oh, too low. I hit the entrance to the pad. I wasn't quite on it when I was coming down there. Oh gosh, that was abrupt.
Well done. To complete the mission, access Starport services from the menu in the centre of your dashboard.
Will do.
Then select the mission board from the General Services list on the left of the presented screen.
Gotcha.
You'll be able to hand in your assigned mission to the Pilots Federation representative here.
There she is.
This will formally complete the mission.
Oh, hey. That's not good. We had a crash. Well. Welcome to Elite Dangerous. Let's see if we can get back in. And I'm going to go into solo play, because in open play, you can, if you're not careful, you get the crap kicked out of you. And where we're trying to do some discussion here. Yeah, oh dear indeed. Oh, we're back. Okay.
Access Starport services from the menu in the centre of your dashboard. Then select the mission board from the General Services list on the left of the presented screen.
Gotcha.
You'll be able to hand in your assigned mission to the Pilots Federation representative here. This will formally complete the mission.
I'll give it a go.
Well done, Commander.
Yes, let us do it that time.
You've proven that you can travel between systems and navigate the mission board. From this point on, you'll be choosing your own missions. A variety
Goody.
of contracts are available throughout the galaxy that require a skilled pilot. Once again, there are training missions available to practice a variety of controls.
We
and
don't want
challenges.
training.
The pilot's handbook, found in the internal interface panel, also provides a wealth of advice on
Ooh.
most professions.
So, we've got some profitable ones down here.
Make us proud. This is Theo Acosta, signing off.
Is he done? Thank God for that. So whilst we're here, I might as well briefly talk through what this mission board actually does and what these missions are. So, source and return means fly somewhere outside of where you are, find a dock that sells the product that they want, buy it, and return it to where you came from. So they're two-way missions. So they tend to be reasonably well paid, but you've got to watch out for how far you might have to go to do it. And also whether you can carry it. This Sidewinder only carries 4 units of whatever you buy. So for example, if I did this one, I would have to definitely make 2 trips. And you've got to factor in the cost of what you're buying as well. So uranium is paying more because it's going to cost you more to buy it. Mining missions require specialist equipment. Yeah, Euro Truck in Space, yeah. Which we can cover at another point in time. It's a whole specialist branch of its own, really. But basically, you go and find asteroids, you kind of blow them up, and try and harness the materials that come out of them. But different asteroids contain different materials. It can be quite complicated. Encrypted data source salvage operation. That's probably what I'm going to do next because they're quite fun. You've also got straight delivery missions. So these are one-way missions where you travel from where you are to the destination and drop off either the units, or in this case it's yeah, that's encrypted data, but generally whatever they put in your cargo hold. But again, you've got to make sure you've got the space in your cargo hold to do them. Courier jobs, same idea. But you're carrying documents, not product with those, so you don't have to have storage space for them. Take down and own pirate their combat missions. Obviously, if you have to find whoever it is and destroy them. Liberate is like a takedown, but you have to go and find them, destroy them, and then there will be, once you've destroyed them, you have to recover whatever data it is you're being asked to recover, or cargo. So in this case there's some encrypted correspondence which will just be data storage. Massacre, that is generally more, that will always be more than one ship. It tells you in the detail how many, but it's basically hunting down some bad guys and killing them. Takedown we've covered. Interact with a hub axe. Now these ones that have this little moon, it's not a moon, it's like an arc with the sun rising over it, that's to represent a planet. Any missions with that symbol require the Horizons DLC, because they require you to land or interact with the planet's surface in some way. So we're not going to do any of those. Not tonight anyway. So I'm going to do, I think I'll do a straightforward delivery mission to start with. This one pays well, which tells me when I look at it, it's probably going to mean that there's some trouble involved. So it's deliver 2 units of performance enhancers. Now given that we only have 11 grand, a 43 grand payout is quite substantial, so it's probably going to be difficult. The cargo is always unique. It's unique to the mission, so this is another thing with these missions. The cargo that they load onto you is the cargo you must deliver. You can't go and sell it and then buy a replacement. You have to deliver exactly what's been loaded onto you. It looks like, no, it doesn't look like there's any punishments or anything. Got plenty of time to do it in. Yeah, and it's in Matet. We've been to Matet already, so we know it's not that far away. If you're not sure how far you might have to go, you can open the galaxy map at this point and see what the route looks like. So it's 2 units of performance enhancers to Colo Station in Matet, so I'll accept that. Items are in depot, so I'm going to collect the items. Done. And that's that. Now let's have a look and see if we have anything else in that same system that we can do. We could do, well, we can't do that because we'd need 3 unit spaces to do that one. We only have 2 spaces left, so I don't think we can take that. Well, we can't do it in one go anyway. And the other one we've got here is an encrypted data storage salvage operation. We could do that one because we're going to Matet anyway, and then bring back the data with us. So here we go. We need to find some missing data. The cargo is unique to the mission and cannot be replaced with lots. Search signal sources in the Matet system to find them. Take the items to Mawson Dock, which is where we are now in the Droney system, and you'll receive your money upon delivery. So when we get to the system, we have to scan the nav beacon, which is always very close to the sun where you arrive, and that gives you then a clue as to where you need to go next. And we need to make sure we've got enough cargo space to carry it. Well, it's only 1 item of data storage, so we know we've got the space for that. So I'm going to go ahead and accept that as well. So we're done with her. What I'm also going to do whilst we're here is refuel. It's not expensive, but at this stage in the game, whenever you get a chance to refuel, always take it. If you run out of fuel, you will die. There's no way around that. And until you can fit a fuel scoop, which allows you to harness fuel from suns to your ship, you have to refuel. Okay. Right, let's get out into space. So I'm going to look at the galaxy map again. I've got a hotkey for it, but the easy way, if you need to see it, bring up your left hand menu and you've got the galaxy map here and the system map. You also have here everything that's closest to you. The top of this list is always the closest star to where you are. The planets are then measured in distance away from that sun, moving away from you relative to your position. So Dromi 1 will obviously be the first planet next to Dromi star. Mawson Dock is a dock surrounding, it's orbiting Dromi 1. Dromi 2 has another planet called Dromi 2A, or a moon, orbiting it, and it also has a small station around it called Dimitri Prospect. Dromi 3 is a star, because you've got the star icon there, so it's a secondary star in this system, and it has 3C, 3A, 3B orbiting it, and Atkins Hub is located on Dromi 3A, which is a ground-based dock from that symbol. Dromi 4 is another planet, And then beyond that, you get into star systems. So Wolfsogen is the next star system away from Dromi. Then we go up in distance from there. So if I want to, I can see Matet there. Because there's a mission for it, it's highlighted it for us at the bottom of the list. So I can navigate to it from here. I can also, if I want to just look at the system, go to the system map, and that will show us the system we're in. So there you go, so that's Dromi. It's Dromi 1, and we're at Mawson Dock around it. There's Dromi 2, with 2A being its moon, and the prospect around it. That's Dromi 4, an icy body. That's Dromi 3, with its 3 moons. Alright, that's how you know where you are. And you can click on these to either select them, plot a route to them if that's available, bookmark them, which saves them in your bookmarks up here, or get a planetary map. You can only get that if you've mapped a planet yourself, or if you've purchased that data or retrieved it by some other way. So we can't do anything with this systems map, but we can use the galaxy map to plot our route to Matet. So the easy way, as I say, is to go in here, click on it, and then click lock destination. But I know that once I'm there, I also have to go to a particular drop-off point. So if I wanted to, I could go to the galaxy map instead. Now, anything that you've got a mission for will have this little globe icon on it. So I can click on that system, and I have system data for here. So from here I can go into the map rather than just plotting a route. I can actually go into the system map and see where the mission is, and it's here. So I can click on that and plot a route to it. That then means that I've got a route in my system that will take me all the way there without having to do anything else. I don't have to change it when I get into the system. If I just have routed to the system, then when I arrived I'd have to bring the map up, find the destination and plot a second route. So that's that done. Let's launch. So now that I've plotted my route as well, I can see at the top of the screen here it says system, Dromi system, next jump takes me to Matet. If I needed to make more than one jump to get there, it would tell me here, it would say next destination, next location is whatever, and number of jumps to destination. Let's get out of here before we get in trouble. See if I can do it without crashing this time, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Not too shabby. And I'm looking at the compass to find the star I'm headed to. There we go. Wait for the mass lock to go. Boost a bit if I can. Yeah, I'm going to have to boost. There's the mass lock's disappeared now in the bottom right, so I can hit frame shift. So again, because I've got it in manual, as soon as the countdown starts I always try and remember to throttle back to around 10% or less, so that when I arrive I'll still be moving, but I won't be moving at such a pace that I'll go flat, slamming into the sun. If you do get too close to the sun you will fry. You'll get dropped out of hyperspace, and getting back up to speed is almost impossible because of the temperature you'll be feeling. Right, whilst we're here I'm going to lock onto this nav beacon and I'm going to scan it. So I need to bring up my data scanner. Oh. Right, see, I'm too close to the sun for too long, so I need to fly away from it. H to switch. Oh yes, I'm in combat mode, aren't I? I need analysis mode. My bad. Well, let's see if we can find this bad boy again. There he is. There we go. So we're going to get close to it as we can. Trouble is, it's very close to the sun, which isn't really what you want, because it means we're going to get hot. But we need to do this, so let's yeah, there we have got the right lock on it. Just taking my time a little bit here because I don't want to fry. Right, we're nearly close enough. Once we're within 1,000,000 meters, there we go, we can drop to it. And then we can do the data link scan. Uh-oh. No, I don't want that. Why are you... Why are you being difficult? That's because I'm not close enough, I expect. Let's see if I missed a message. No. Yep, I know that. Nav beacon. Has something changed here that I'm missing? Let's look at the contacts. Let's look at the transaction, sorry. So we've got this is the mission. Search signal source and Matet. Encrypted data storage. Something strange is happening here. Maybe I'm still not close enough. I might have such a poor scanner that I need to get really, really close. Oh, okay. Just flew past it. No. Something odd is going on here. Why is my data link scanner not working? Let's try a different fire group for it, because I might be being mean to it for no reason. Right. No, it doesn't want to play. Open the map. I'm not sure what's going on here. I'll tell you what, we'll get this delivery done and we'll come back to this if it's just in case it's me being daft, which it probably is. So we need to go back to navigation. Ah, okay. There we go. Right, that's where we're going. Lock destination. Get rid of those hard points. And get out of here.
Charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
So let's see if we can approach this without being a complete noob. So again, I'm watching that clock to see when it gets down to 10 seconds. That slowdown is just because I'm getting quite close to a planet as I'm making this manoeuvre, so it's just warning me that we're getting slowed down for that. So there's 10 seconds, throttle to halfway through the blue. It should settle at about 6 seconds, which it has. The more proficient you get at this, the quicker you can do these approaches, but for safety's sake, this is the best way really to do it. Okay, so we're looking to come in between the planet and the station. So to keep the speed up, I'll kind of swing round underneath it. In fact, I don't need to come underneath it, I can go through over the top here. We're kind of coming at an angle that works quite nicely. I'm just going to throttle up a bit because I know I can get away with it. From this point, we're so close now that it'll work out. Let's try and level out. There we go. Boost towards the entrance.
Delisi Papa Hotel Echo. Please comply with flight regulations as you approach the station, Commander.
I will do. We're close enough to ask for docking permission. Oh. Whoa. Here we go. I'll flip around. Follow this guy in. Landing gear down. Never forget your landing gear. And I'm being scanned because I'm not known in this sector. That happens quite a lot. And we're looking for pad 28, which is just there. Slow it down. We've overshot a bit, so we back it up. Okay.
Landing complete. Command
So
system shut down.
we can go to the mission board
Services for more information, Commander.
and deliver these 2 units. And complete. And we'll take the money.
Incoming message.
Oh, we have a message. Let's see what that says. We got promoted to mostly penniless. That's good to know, isn't it? Oh no, I don't want that. Go back. Why are you not letting me read them? There we go. Look at that, isn't it pretty? We're mostly penniless people. Right, from here I'm going to go back out and have a look at this. So let's have a look at this mission again. So we need to find the missing encrypted data storage. The cargo is unique to the mission and cannot be replaced. Search the signal sources in Matet and return to Mawson Dock in the Dromi system. So encrypted data storage is unique. 6 days to do it. What I'm going to do then, we're going to have to go back to that nav. Oh, we've got... no, we haven't. That's where we've got to return it to. Any weird signal sources? Got the nav beacon. Could be that. Let's set back to the nav beacon for now. And see if we can figure out what's going on.
Detach confirmed. You are clear to leave.
Off we go. Ah,
Make way for oncoming traffic. Keep
we have on the map
larger vessels.
another white marker. What is this? ING Wakefield. Oh no, that's not it. Okay. What's this? Another ING Wake. No, they're not what we need. Let's go to the nav beacon. Get away from this station. Get away from the mass lock. There we go. Frame shift. Hey, wake not scanned. I'm not scanning the wake. I want that. There we go.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Right. See if we can figure this out. We might just have to travel around the bodies until we find it, which is sometimes the case. Sometimes it gives you a clue, and I might have missed the the clue. Yeah, there are a lot of controls. Actually, what I'll do, once I've figured this out, or if I can't in a minute, I'll run through the controls I have set up, which are essential, that I find are essential, which might help you in terms of deciding how you configure your setup. Because there are a lot of buttons, and a lot of them you just don't use very often, or or there are ways around using them. There's a lot of traffic in the system. Now beacon's the other side of the sun, I think. That's why we're getting slowed down so much. Yeah. slow her down. Uh-oh. Oh, that's okay, we were going slow enough anyway. Yeah, I don't think we can do a data link scan on this, unfortunately. I don't know why. Let's try again. Let's try and get close enough to lock on.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
And we'll be able to drop out quite soon. As soon as we get to 1,000,000 meters, we can drop out. There we go. Right. Oh, whoa, 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 what is that? What is that? Nav beacon, there we go. Just had to lock onto the right thing. It's now scanning it. Silly me.
Incoming mission
There we go.
message.
Landing gear. You're now using everything but the shifter. Although landing gear, yeah, you definitely want a button for landing gear. Right, so we've got an incoming message from having scanned that nav beacon. Here we go. So, scan complete, Commander. A potential salvage location is being uploaded to your ship's navigation data system now. Target body is Matet. So, we can get rid of that. Go and look at the nav system. Here we go. So the target is actually at this star. Or close to this star. So we're going to lock onto that. And now, what I'm going to have to do is... this is going to be tricky actually. I don't want to jump to hyperspace. You have to be in hyperspace to do these scans. I don't want to do that. So what I'm going to have to do is lock on to the next closest planet, which is Matet 1, which should be away from the sun, which it is. I'm going to initiate my jump into Super Cruise, which is the level between normal space and a full-on hyper jump, a full-on like warp jump. Once I'm in Super Cruise, travel away from the sun for a little bit. That'll do it. Put the brakes on, and then I'll lock on to Matet and turn back so that it's in front of me. And then, with a bit of luck, there we go. That's Matet. Now what I need to do is fly around for a bit. There we go. Mission degraded threat. So the blue thing tells me it's a mission related objective. So by jumping into Super Cruise and targeting the body that it told me to, it then shows me what I need to get to. So this is an emission, so from somewhere someone's either dropped out of warp or got shot and come out of Super Cruise and dropped to normal space. That's an emission. The threat level tells me there's no danger there. So I'm just now throttling up to get to it as quick as I can. We're already going 2 times the speed of light, 3 times, and so on and so forth. and the distance is 3,000 light seconds. So what that tells me is if I'm travelling at 1 times the speed of light, it would take that many seconds to get there. As I'm increasing speed, and I'm now travelling at 16 times the speed of light, it will take 16 times less time, if that makes sense. It's all in factors of light speed. Just got to remember that light speed is a measure of distance, not of speed. Or light seconds, sorry. Well, light speed is a distance measure, isn't it? Parsecs. So I'm going to lock onto it so I can see my time remaining. And then the bars, if you see in the bottom left hand corner, we've got bars there that show distance and speed. Once your distance from the object and your speed are in the blue zone, you can disengage to come out close to the objective. So you use your Super Cruise button to drop out of Super Cruise once you're in that range. So I got well too close then, not paying attention, so I didn't use my 10-second rule, which means I'm going to have to do a bit of a manoeuvre here to try not to get too far away from it. There we go, we're back into a sensible pattern now. Otherwise you can, I'd have shot well past it. So I'm now at the optimum, 6 seconds locked on the clock, mid-range throttle. And again, as we get down to about, might be around about a million, might be about half a light second maybe. So speed's coming into the blue zone nicely. Distance isn't far behind it. I can throttle up a bit now that I'm in the blue zone for speed, just to get there a bit quicker. And I've got 2 blues, so I can disengage. Right, and I'm going to lock onto this. Okay, we've got a canister of encrypted data, a canister of clothing, but it's the encrypted data that we want. So now this is where we have to use the cargo scoop, which you also need a button for. So I'm going to deploy my cargo scoop, and my targeting reticule, my compass basically, goes to, as you can see there, like a targeting reticule. You've got to try and get the canister that you've targeted in the middle of the crosshair. It looks like it's going to go underneath you, and it will, because your collection, your cargo scoop is underneath the ship. I'm only 600 metres away, and I'm travelling at 23 metres a second at the moment, so I don't really want to go any faster. Just going to approach it, just keep it as central as possible with little corrections. You can see all these white canisters around here. I can have any of them I want. So once we've collected this one, I'm going to have a look and see if there's anything of any value. Slowing right down. Just 3 or 4 metres a second. Take my time, keep it centred. And we've got it. And now we have a message, which is to tell us that we've got what we need and we can go to Mawson Dock to collect our reward. But whilst we're here, we're going to have a look at the contacts, and we can see what's around us. So what I can do here, as well as I can tell it, scrap I want to ignore. I don't want to know anything about scrap. I might target the bio-waste, has a value to it. Pesticides have a value to it. So I'll try and get the pesticides and the bio-waste. So I'll click on the pesticide first, the first one, which will be the closest. That's now the target on my central screen that's got the brackets around it, so I need to try and move to get that aligned front and centre on my compass. There it is. And we'll move towards it. Again, it's quite close, so won't take long. So the more practice you have, the quicker you can get it. doing these things. And then we want another pesticide, which is easiest to get to that way. And that's now immediately behind me. I went the wrong way. Never mind, we'll flip over. There it is. 78 metres away. Nearly there. Get it central. You don't want to clip it because you'll send it flying off in all directions. And then we'll take the bio waste as well, which is around here. Oh, overdid that flip. Got it. So close the cargo hold because you can't jump without it. We know we need to go back to Dromi, which will be on the map for us. So let's lock destination and line up with it. Make sure you're at full throttle, and then into hyperdrive, whatever you want to call it. No, I'm not using the eye tracking. I've deliberately turned it off because I find that it's fine when I'm playing with it, but in this game, because it's quite demanding, it's quite jumpy watching playback of it, and I don't want to make anyone feel sick. Plus, you end up looking around a lot on the screen, and particularly when you're flicking from menus and in and out of them, it wouldn't look good on the video. I don't want to make anyone ill. Yeah, Obsidian Ant is a legend with this game. He's excellent. Right, Mawson Dock is where we're going now. Locking destination. It's highlighted in blue for us, so we know we've got to go there. Align it again with the compass. Full throttle at the moment. But again, when it gets down to 10 seconds, I'm going to back off. There we go. Down to the middle of the blue zone. And I can see from looking at the image of the dock that the hold will be on the other side. But that's fine, because we're going to come over the top of it anyway by the look of it. Now, are we on the right side of the rings this time? That's the question. It's below, is it below the rings? Yes, it is. So let's try not to hit the rings. Yeah, it is a lot to take in. So at the moment, literally all I'm doing is working through a couple of simple missions, but there is a lot to learn. I think maybe once we've docked here, we'll go through some, like I said, through some control stuff, and then sort of principles of navigation might be a good idea. Right, the port's on this side.
Outbound Hotel Echo. This is flight control. Please note that access to the station is by authorization only.
Thank you. Where's the hole gone? We're chasing it. Right, let's request our docking. Yes, you will scan me, won't you? Right, there we go, we're aligned now, or we should be. Oh, have I shot past it? Oh dear. I am totally misaligned. There we go, it's around that side. Should have known it wouldn't be on the spinning axis. You've reduced your mods folder to 4. Good lord. I don't do it like that. I have the mods I like in one folder, and then I download the mods for like VF, which is way more than I'd ever use. And I just copy that file into my mod directory and copy out my stuff before I launch. Swap them over. It'd do my nothing to have that many mods in a list. I can barely remember my own name half the time, let alone what mod I want. Right, landing gear down. And we can go up to... We can...
Maintain current vector, Commander.
Okay. We're looking for pad 6, which is probably quite close, I imagine. Yeah, it's actually behind us now by the look of it. Might be underneath. There it is. Oh, too much sight, too much bow thruster. Such a light ship, yes. Very small touches with the bow thrusters. Hangar and services. Right.
Landing successful. Dispatching ground crew.
So, need to do some refueling here. Sounds potentially in trouble there. God. Mission board. Let's deliver that. Job done. So, in a fairly short space of time, we've actually increased our money quite substantially there, which is very good. Now, I've got those other bits and pieces that I was carrying. So let's see if we can sell them on the commodities market. We have in cargo 2 pesticides. Oh. No, I want to sell them. Cancel. Cargo 2. Oh, I've got to go to sell. They've changed that. It never used to work like that. So, yes, I would like to sell them. So that's 684 that we wouldn't have had if we hadn't picked that up. And then we should have bio waste. There we go, it's right down the bottom. We're only getting 32 credits for that, but again, it's 32 credits that we would not otherwise have had. So, free money. We were there anyway. Okay. So, I think what might be required is a very quick tea break, because I've been talking and stressing myself out here for about 1 hour and 40 minutes. So, down to how many genies? Down to 400. It's mad, isn't it? So yeah, quick tea break. Probably about 5 minutes, and then I shall be back, and we shall continue our tea. Earl Grey hot, indeed. Which reminds me, I need to do my little magic thing, don't I? It just won't be the same without a proper countdown. Oh. I know that. It's beeping at me. It's not happy with me. There we go. That'll do. Magic. Right. See you shortly, guys. Okay, and we're back. Sorry I was a couple of seconds late. So, I said before I went that we talked through some controls that are essential for the game, and I think then what I'll do is I'll also take you through this screen. Thank you very much for the welcome back. Welcome back to you and to, as well, sir. So, obviously it's a HOTAS system, so it's a joystick and throttle with a selection of buttons. The joystick, obviously, I've got programmed by default to do the pitch, the roll, and the yaw. It's one of those sticks that you can twist, as opposed to having rudders. So by twisting the stick, effectively, that does the yaw for you. Throttle, I use it as the 0 position is stop. If I throttle up to 100%, I would go forward up to 100%. I then have a button next to the throttle which I press if I want reverse, and then if I'm in reverse, 0 is stop, 100% is full reverse. So you can either do that or you can set it. I think by default the throttle is set so that somewhere around 25% is 0, and then everything up to 100 is forward and everything below 25 is reverse. It's personal preference really. If you want to save the button, then do it like that, but I find it easier when 0 means 0 and I have to put it into reverse. In terms of trigger, the primary trigger is always associated to a primary fire group, and I have a secondary trigger which is like a bomb button, bombs away button, top middle of the controller, which acts as my secondary fire group. So everything that requires a trigger to activate it is in fire groups in this menu here on the right. You can have as many fire groups as you want, and you'll want to set a button that allows you to cycle through fire groups. So at the moment, my offensive weapons, which are the pulse lasers, they're only available to me on fire group A, and if I'm on any other fire group, I can't use them. That's deliberate so that I don't accidentally deploy to start firing on something which I don't want to. The scanners I put onto separate fire groups. So, and I've actually that's really, I've done that the wrong way around as well. I want the data link. I want to do that. So my discovery scanner, that is when you enter a system, you hold down the trigger for that, and if that fire group's selected, then it will scan everything in the system. And I'm actually going to put that onto this fire group like that, because that's the one that always is your default. Data link scanner allows you to scan computers and things like that if you're close to them to get data off them. Composition scanner allows you to scan the makeup of something. You need an advanced discovery scanner to scan planets and things like that, and I'm sure at some point we'll get to cover that. But so I've set it so that my main trigger, if I'm on fire group A, will fire the lasers, and my secondary trigger will do the discovery scanner, will display planets and the like. On fire group B, my primary trigger will fire the data link scanner, and my secondary will fire the composition scanner. And as I say, as you get more weapons and things like that, you can set up as many of these groups as you want, and separate them out. Let's go back to controls we were talking about. On my joystick itself, I have 2 hat switches. The main hat switch, which is in the second center, which is where my thumb naturally sits, I have programmed to do 2 separate things. So on the normal display here, to the bottom right, you've got your fuel. You've also got your mass lock, landing gear and cargo scoop, and just to the left of that you have your systems. Now I've got this hat switch set to control those systems. I can't actually just show you how they work until we're in space, but basically if I press up, it assigns pips to the engines. If I press left, it assigns pips to systems. To the right, assigns pips to weapons, and pulling down resets everything to a balanced setup. Now, the way it basically works is you have a certain amount of power available, and as you're using certain things, then that depletes. If you've got your engine, for example, when you use the boost, depending on the power of your engines, it will drain some of that bar above your engine, and it takes an amount of time to recharge. The number of pips you have assigned dictates how quickly it will recharge. So at the moment, I've got it set full pips to engine, which means when I use the boost, it will recharge as quickly as it possibly can. I've got 2 pips set to systems now. Systems are for things like shields and for when the computer takes control of the ship. But really, shields is the main one. So the blue rings around the picture of my ship represent my 3 layers of shield. If my shields are completely wiped out, the number of pips in system dictates how quickly they'll recharge. If they take a small hit, it'll also show how quickly they can build that power back up. And it uses the power bar to restore the power of the shield. So once that's fully drained, unless you have pips in system, you cannot get your shields back up. So I always leave something in there. And then weapons, as you're firing your weapons, your any energy weapons, that bar will deplete. And again, you need pips in there to restore that. So if I go into combat, I'll flick restore first of all, which puts the 6 pips into 2 across each of those. And then I'd probably whack a bit more into weapons. If I wanted to run away, I'd put it all in engine and probably a bit in weapon for defence until I was ready to jump, and then flick it across to system to make the jump. So it's something that you need to be aware of to start with. You can leave it as it is and play around with it until you're happy with it. But I have the central thumbstick does that for me. The second thing it does is at the bottom, on the back of my joystick, below where the trigger is, where my little finger is, there's a secondary trigger. I've got it programmed so that when I hold that trigger in, I can use that same thumbstick to either look to my left menu or to my right menu, or up to the inbox or down to the ship control menu. And then clicking it again pulls me back from that menu to this central view. And if I hold it down, I get this pulled out view, which just backs you off a little bit so you can see a bit more of what's going on. And you can then, I think you can trigger a control to look around as well. Unfortunately, that's not working, because in order to stream, obviously I've had to take this out of full screen mode and I've put it into a borderless window so that I can control the rest of what's going on the PC. But normally I'd have that so that as I pull to that, I could then look around. What else do I have? I have another thumbstick on the main controller, which is set for targeting. So if I pull down on it, it will lock onto the last target that I had acquired, or the last destination target I had acquired. Left and right scroll through next and previous targets if they're in terms of enemies or ships. And pushing up on it targets what the system believes to be the most dangerous contact. And all those options are available in the menu to configure. I have a button on the stick that flicks between the different weapons modes, so between the different fire groups. I have a button to deploy the hard points, and which also retracts the hard points. So basically, if you're in normal space, in order to use your weapons or your scanners, you have to deploy the hard points. But before you go back into Super Cruise, you have to retract them. I also have a button to lock on to what I'm currently pointed at. So anything that's roughly in front of me, if I press that button, it'll lock onto that. Whether that be a ship, a planet, a canister, whatever it is. So those are the buttons I've got on the primary flight stick. I've got some toggle buttons on the bottom of that, 3 toggle buttons, which I can flick up or down, so they work as effectively 6 buttons. On those I have the system map and the galaxy map on the first toggle, so I think it's up for system and down for galaxy. On the middle toggle I've got up for cargo scoop control and down for landing gear control. And then on the third one I've got up for lights, which puts on the ship lights, and then down for silent running, which is I just flicked on and off there. Now silent running, if I do it again, is what you need to use if you want to be stealthy, but you can only use it for a very limited period of time. It takes your shields off and it stops your cooling system working. The reason it does that, it's coming back on, there we go. The reason it does that is if you're being tracked or scanned, it's a way of stopping you being tracked and scanned, basically. So the way the game works is all ships obviously output heat. Shields output a lot of heat. The ship itself also generates quite a lot of heat, depending on how quick it's travelling and what it's doing. All sensors track heat, nothing else. They're not tracking movement or light or anything like that. They're tracking how much heat an object is putting out. So by going to silent running, you stop authorities or other ships being able to get a lock on you and being able to scan what you've got on your hold. The downside is you're no longer emitting heat, which means any heat you're generating is being held within the ship, so you will overheat very quickly. You have probably a few seconds use out of it at most. And at some point I can show you how that can be quite handy. So if you're carrying goods that you don't want to get caught with and you're about to dock at a place you're going to sell it at, there's a good chance you're going to get scanned by the authorities, and if you get caught with those goods, they'll just blow you up. So you go into silent running and get through basically into the dock as quickly as you can. However, you've got to bear in mind you have no shields whilst you're doing that, so if you hit anything, you're in trouble. And you only have a very limited amount of time to do it. And then as soon as you get into the dock, you restore the settings. So that's a handy one to have on a quick button that you can get to easily if you need it. On the throttle quadrant, obviously I've gone through the throttle itself, but I also have a couple of twiddly dials, and I only use those for the Galaxy map so I can move around it without having to use the mouse. But I also have my thruster control, so I've got another little like a hat switch, which I basically pull up or down, left or right, to fire the thrusters in the various different directions. So when I come to take off, I fire the thrusters up to get me to lift off the pad. And in combat, when you're trying to chase someone or you're getting chased, it's a good way of getting extra oomph in your direction of travel, or just align yourself as you're coming in and out of the dock. I also on the throttle quadrant have the button for my boost and the button to enter and exit frame shift. And that's pretty much it. Everything else is controls that you don't really need to have instant access to. You can sort of be things like in maps and stuff like that. You know, you can use your mouse, you can use keyboard, whatever you want. But in terms of flight controls, those are all the things that I find I need to have available without taking my hands off the control sticks, which is the whole point of a HOTAS system. You want as much flight control as possible, hands-on as much of the time as possible. I hope that made some sense. But I probably went through it quite quickly, so if there's any specific questions, do fire away. In the meantime, I'll bring up the Starport Services menu again, and we can talk through the bits and pieces that are in here. And there's quite a good selection in here. Not all starports have the same services available. Still working out, but getting there. Yeah, you'll get there. It's trial and error a lot of the time. So starports have various different services available to them. This one's actually got the vast majority of services available, so it's quite a good one to talk through. On the left-hand side, you have your primary interactions, your main services, or general services they're called here. So the first one is the commodities market, and most starports have a commodities market of some form, but they don't necessarily sell and buy everything. So in here you can see a list of products that they buy, a list of things they'll sell and the prices, and you can do a comparison as well, so you can compare galactic average, search the market for certain things, or suggest it, or get it to suggest markets to you for certain products. And obviously you can filter by different commodities, so if you're not interested in certain things, you can take them out. Let's cancel that. But we can see here, for example, if I go to buy chemicals, I can buy agronomic treatment at 2,849 per unit. Now that supply tells me how much supply is available to this station, how much they actually have available to sell. You can only buy what's available. And the galactic average on the far right is the average price across the galaxy, so it would be unwise of me to buy galactic ergonomic treatment here, because if I go and sell it somewhere else, I'm going to lose a fortune. You really want to make sure you're buying stuff that's in good supply, and that's a price lower than the galactic average. So a good example here would be synthetic meat. If I buy it here, it's got a very high supply, green bars, big numbers. I can buy it at 190 credits, and the galactic average is 300. So I just need to find somewhere that if I buy some of that, then I should be able to sell it, making a reasonable profit per unit. And that's basically how trading works. Find somewhere that's selling stuff with high supply at a fairly low price, and then find somewhere else to sell it, which is the opposite, and you'll make money. Selling is exactly the same. Obviously, you can only sell what you've got in your hold, but you're looking for the opposite here. You're looking for low numbers. So T, for example, the galactic average is minus 80. Yeah, people are making a hell of a loss on T. But if you can get T here, they'll pay you 1,640 credits. So that's not bad. You'll make money. Yeah. Approximate profit is, so that's basically, that's what the galactic average is telling you is what you'd make. And then rare goods. Rare goods are obviously what they say. Mission goods are always highlighted in blue. Rare goods obviously fetch a really good price. And mission goods you don't want to sell. You want to make sure you give them via your mission menu. You can sell mission goods, but if you do, you won't be able to complete your mission. Which brings us on to the mission board. So this is where you get your missions, and we talked briefly through that. We have a really good follow-on mission here. Wow, we might have to take that. 100,000 credits we're going to get for that, so I'll come back to that in a minute. In fact, I'll have a look at it now, and I don't want to miss it. So, venture beyond the safety of the Pilots Federation district and explore the galaxy. Travel to Mickelson Point in the Efkathi system to collect 100,000 credits. Note that docking outside the Pilots Federation district will revoke your district permit. So what that's basically, this is the mission to get you out of being a trainee. So we'll have to travel 49.58 lights. Oh no, that's not right. If I open the galaxy map, it will show me where that is. Efkathi there. If I plot the route, it's actually not that bad. It's only 2 jumps away, so it's definitely worth taking. This kind of completes doing this, or complete you'll no longer be a trainee. So I think effectively what that means is you'll end up potentially in open play, and you'll be fair game. So you can get shot at, pretty much, is what this is all about. So I'll take that. And we'll go and do that in a minute, and it gives us a good kickstart in terms of money. So the mission board we know about. Missions, you've just got to make sure you can meet the criteria to do them. Passenger lounge. Now this is something that was introduced a couple of years ago, I think. It adds the ability to transport passengers. Now there are no missions available to us. Probably because this place isn't a tourist spot, and also because our ship isn't capable of carrying passengers. You can outfit your ship to have passenger cabins rather than cargo holds, and there are very different standards. So you can have everything from like sort of a first class right down to economy, with varying numbers of passengers you can carry, and it gives you it's like a mission board, but it gives you a whole different set of missions just for carrying people around. Like, you'll have tourists who want to go and see multiple different things. You might carry some prisoners from one place to another, so you'll be at risk of getting hijacked. Celebrities often want to go places, but again, there's quite high risk associated with doing them. You can earn a lot of money from doing tourist missions, but they generally come with quite a high risk factor. You've then got contacts. So these are 3 examples here. We can access authority contacts, combat band bond contracts, and search and rescue contacts. So an authority contact allows you to pay off any fines or bounties or taxes that you've incurred as a result of playing the game. So for example, fines are applied if you do silly things in the dock, or you get caught with something you shouldn't have on you. Bounties are applied either by other players or by the game to people who pirate. so people who go around blowing people up and stealing their goods get bounties put on their head. You can pay off a bounty against. You can't pay off against you, but you can collect a bounty. So if someone has a bounty on them, you have the right to kill them. You can shoot them out of the sky. Once you've done that, you can come back here and collect the fee for that bounty. You can also have whatever they had on them. Trade dividends. Probably best not to go too much into the detail of that one, to be fair. But yeah, it's basically you can earn trade dividends by doing certain things. You can collect intel packages from downed ships, and you can collect codex information by discovering stuff, and all of that can be sold here. Combat bonds are very specific local bonds. So in a particular system, you can go into a combat zone, what's called a combat zone, and you can earn bonds from doing certain activities, killing certain players, etc. You cash them in here. And search and rescue contracts. So you can basically go out when you're travelling around, and you can come across these things randomly. If you find them, pick them up, go to one of these guys, and you can trade them in for cash. It's pretty much how it works. So it's whenever anyone gets blown up, they'll probably drop some of these bits and pieces. Everyone drops a black box. There might be wreckage components, there might be people, there might be an escape pod, occupied or otherwise. This is where you hand them in. What else do we have? Universal cartographics. So universal cartographics is for explorers. So every time you enter a system, you can scan it, and then with the right type of scanning equipment, you can get even more detailed scans of planets, what's there, what's on the surface, what type of planet it is, what it's made up of. All of that data has a value. Even if it's already been discovered, you can sell that data here, but you have to have an advanced discovery scanner to be able to collect that kind of data, which we don't have on this basic ship. So once you get to a stage at which you can upgrade to that, you can collect masses of data and just sell it at one of these locations, and it can be extremely profitable. So if you like the exploring side of the game, this is the place where you'll be selling the information you collect. Central part of the screen here is really more of a news thing, so it tells you who's in control of this area or this particular dock. Galnet is a communication system. It's like the news system for the game, because it's a perpetual world. It tells you what's going on. So at the moment we've got a Power Play hourly update, which Power Play is the feuds between the different factions. Yeah, oh, absolutely. You can do what you literally can do anything you want. It's completely open-ended. So Power Play is the ongoing fight between the various factions in the game. So you've got Ailing Duval's faction, Edmund Mahone, and all these people are different groups, represent different groups of the different factions, if you like, and there is a constant struggle for power going on in what we call the bubble, and I'll come on to that in a minute. And you can align yourself with any one of these factions and fight for them to gain control of areas of space. And successful areas of space have profitable systems, have lots more places you can, not more star bases, ports, docks, whatever you want to call them. And a contested system is obviously quite dangerous to be in unless you're part of the fight. Thargoid activity report. Thargoids are the weird aliens that appeared a few years ago in the game and hail back to the original Elite game. And this basically tells you what they're up to in this given week. It doesn't look like much is going on at the moment. What have we got here? The various commodities to starboards that were intact. So these star bases, so Bean Station was attacked recently by the Thargoids, and these are the products that it needs supplying to it to get it back up to full working order. So it's no use basically to anyone until all these things are delivered by pilots. And it shows you how many units are required and what percentage has been satisfied so far. And being part of that, obviously delivering things they need will reward you at the end of the period once they're back up and running. You've also got news briefings here, so there's an administration status summary here, which tells you what's going on. Everyone's happy here. Trade report, a bounty report, a crime report. These are all for this particular station. The top 5 local bounties, so these are the 5 most wanted commanders in this particular region, and what you'll get paid if you find them and destroy them. Traffic report shows you how many different vehicles of each type have been in and out of this particular system. 8,135 ships have passed through this system in the last 24 hours. So it's just general information. And then on the right hand side we have basically ship operations and control. So livery is just that, it's painting your ship. But to do that you have to pay real money generally. There are some freebies, but most of this, I mean there's lots of stuff you can do. Most of it you have to pay for. So I don't generally bother with that, or much of it you have to pay for. Hollow Me allows you to create your character properly, so instead of just being this black masked icon in the corner, you can create a proper body. I won't go into that. It's something to play with yourself. If you want to make your character, that's where you need to go. The store allows you to buy the credits you need to buy your livery and some of the other bits and pieces. Quick maintenance does what it says on the tin. Click on that to refuel, click on that to repair, click on that to restock your ship. Repair as well, I mean not in this ship, but as you progress you get general wear and tear on your ship, so it's always worth repairing when you can. And then we've got ship services, so we've got outfitting, shipyard and advanced maintenance. Advanced maintenance is basically this here but in detail, so rather than repairing all or refueling all or restocking all, you can do the bits that you want rather than all of it at once. Outfitting allows you to modify your current ship, and the shipyard allows you to buy new ships. We'll have a look at shipyard first. So our current ship is a Sidewinder, a Sidewinder anyway. If we wanted to buy another one we could do, but it'll cost 32,000 credits. And then the ships go up from here, so there are six different ships in this yard. Next one's an Eagle, which will cost you 44,000. These stats here, blue is better than your current ship, red is worse than your current ship. And these are all the different things, available component locations within your ship. And we'll talk through that in outfitting in a second. We've got a hauler, which will cost 52,000, which is kind of like a transport ship. An Adder, which is a fairly good all-purpose ship. And then a Viper Mark III, which is again a fairly good all-purpose ship. The Cobra Mark III, very manoeuvrable, great attacking ship, but it can be used for long-distance stuff as well. And then we're back to the Sidewinder. So the most expensive ship that's available here is 349,000 credits. We have 73,000 credits at the moment. The ships go up to absolutely really ridiculous money. I mean, you're looking at hundreds of thousands of credits for the biggest and best ships. And so, for example, if you're saying freighter there, I think you'd need the hauler's the smallest freight ship. And it can carry, this freighter can carry 8 tons, so 8 cargo units. You can modify it because you've got cargo wraps in here, only have a capacity of 4 each. But your optional internals are quite limited, so you'd have to take out, if you took out the Super Cruise, the advanced docking computer, you could get another 2 cargo elements in there. Yeah, exactly, for a big ship, yeah. Big money. Big money. And I think this is the big... what are they called? The new ships they're just introducing are going to be 1 billion credits each, aren't they? Was it? No, it was more than that, wasn't it? Yeah, anyway, lots of money. So that's where you buy ships now. Obviously, different ports have different ships, and you have to look around for what you want. There are online resources which can help with that, but part of the fun is discovering it yourself, I think. And then you have the outfitting. So this is where you can change what you have on your ship, and you can pretty much change anything. Hard points are, we've already kind of covered that, the weapons, scanners, things that are mounted on the outside of the ship. So this has 2 hard point locations available. Both of them have lasers in at the moment, but you can change them to, from this particular facility, I can have beam lasers, burst lasers, cannons, fragment cannons, all different types of things. Depending where you are, dictates what you can get. It carries a 5 billion stock, yeah. Utility mounts, that's your that's things like so let's have a look at what we can get in here. We can get chaff launchers, heat sinks and shield boosters. And then they all come in various different configurations, and you've got various different stats for them as well. I won't go through that screen right now because that's not a very good example. But yeah, we've got 2 empty mounts there, so we could put 2 utilities on there if we wanted to. Got core internals. Now these things, what is in each slot can't be changed, so you have to have these things, but you can upgrade them. So for example, we've got a level 2E power plant on loan because the ship's on loan. We can't get anything bigger than a level 2 because the size of the compartment is level 2, and that's represented by the number of dots there underneath it. So we're filling the space that's available, but the grade is the letter from E up to A, and as a general rule, so if we look at this here, we've got E is less power output and less efficient than D, and that's so it's less, it's not as good. And as you general rule, as you go up the letters, the product becomes better in that slot, but at a much higher cost. And as you get up to like A level, is really, really expensive. So if I were to swap this power plant here from an E to a D, I save on the amount of power I'm using. My top speed goes up, my boost speed goes up, my max power output goes up, and my jump range goes up. They've all gone blue, and it shows you how much they've gone up to at the bottom of the screen. So that's a good upgrade. Yeah. In this, everything starts at an E, but so this might be upgradable as well. The frameshift drive, yeah, I can upgrade that to a D. That would increase my power usage, but increase my top speed, my boost speed, and my jump range significantly by doing that. It's not a bad thing. And then you've got various other components as well. So that's the basic rule: is the size of the compartment is represented by the dots. So you can buy the number represents the size of the object. So fill the dots with the number, and then the letter. As the letter gets higher, the quality of the installation is better. If I look at optional internals next, so this is kind of like the core internals, but the difference is here you can put whatever you want in those slots of the optional type stuff. So I've got here a level 2 shield generator. I don't have to have a shield generator, you can choose not to, and if you're going outside the bubble, which I said I'd speak about, then you don't necessarily need to, although there's differences of opinion I think on that. Certainly when I go long distance exploring, I don't bother with the shield because it's a lot of power drain, and it takes up a lot of space. But again, you can upgrade the quality of it, so it's a level 2 in that space, and you can change it to something completely different. So I could put in cargo racks instead, collection limpets, a fuel scoop. Fuel scoop, really important to have as you start to travel. Once you go outside of the bubble, if you don't have a fuel scoop, you're not going to last very long at all, because it's the only way to refuel your ship on the fly. Hull reinforcements we can do, all sorts of stuff. So at the moment we've got a shield generator in here, and in this particular location we can only have an E grade shield generator, so we can't upgrade that, but we could change it to something else if we wanted to. So, and obviously you get a whole lot of information here which you'll learn the meaning of as you go on. I've got a couple of empty compartments here, so something I might do with this ship, for example, we've got a bit of money, so let's stick in a cargo rack in there. and I'll buy, just as a demonstration, a basic fuels group, a level D one. That'll scoop me 0.02 tons of fuel per second, which is not a lot, but it might be the difference between life and death at some point, so I'll have that. I don't need the Super Cruise Assist, so I'm going to get rid of that. I don't need the advanced docking computer, so I'm going to get rid of that.
Position authorized. Set down on landing pad 0.
Don't want the planetary approach suite either. Oh, actually, I might as well have that, because actually you can't put anything else in there. But I've got 2 more compartments now I can fill, so let's put in, what else can we have? I might just use it for more cargo racks so I can increase the cargo capacity. There we go. And we will upgrade some of these bits and pieces. So the power plant, yes, I would like a D. So here you can either exchange or you can store. They're on loan anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Thrusters, I can go to a D grade thruster as well, so we'll do that. Frame shift drive, we can upgrade. Gets our maximum jump range up to 10 light years, which is excellent. Very helpful. Gets us to places quicker. Life support. Let's have a look at the options here. So going to 1D will increase the power drain, but it will let us go faster and fly further. So we'll have that. And we get longer emergency life support. It goes up to 7.5 minutes, which is good. Power distributor, so this is how quickly that those recharges that I talked about happen. So there we go, and it increases our top speed again and increases our jump range again. So we'll have that as well. Sensor suite, let's have that too. And I think all fuel tanks, if I remember right, it's been a while, but they're all C anyway, I think. Now, one thing I didn't look at in the optionals was, no, we can't have better scanners. I think they need a bigger size compartment. Let's have a look at this. No, we can't. We can't get them here, or we can't get them on the ship. One or the other. But still, we're better than we were. So we've now got. Where are we? Let's go back out. Have a look at our ship. And we've now got a space where we did have only space for 4 units of cargo. We've now got a space for 10. So that's not bad. That's going to help us. And that's pretty much what you'll find at your docks. So your options really in game are do whatever you want, just fly about, go and explore, collect data and sell it, go mining and sell what you mine, freight work, which we'll do a little bit of now, we'll transport some bits and pieces around, and what else? Pirating, really, going and killing people and collecting bounties and that kind of stuff. So you can definitely play the game as a combat game, or you can play it without going into combat at all, if you want to. I mean, there will be the odd occasion potentially where you're forced into combat, but it's not all the time. So let's have a look at what we have available in the way of missions here, because we've cleared the missions we had. Oh, actually we took that 100,000 mission, didn't we? So let's go and do that. So, why am I not getting my menus? Oh, because I need to be in here to do it. No, I don't. Something's gone wrong here. Okay. I think my... oh, there we go. My joystick just is having a funny 5 minutes. One moment. I think I've lost my joystick profile. Right, let's oh no. There we go. We need to go to it should be at the bottom of the list. Oh no, it's not. Okay. We go via our, rather than via the Galaxy map, we'll go via the transactions then. Click on the mission, open the Galaxy map, and plot the route, which it already has, so that's fine. I must have already done it and forgotten about it, which is about right for me. So we're going to launch. What I can see from this, at the top of navigation, is I'm starting in the Dromi system. My next jump will take me to a waypoint, which is Matet, the first of those waypoints. After 2 jumps, I will have made it to our destination, which is Ekatal, something like that. Okay. Right, let's get out of here. Raise the landing gear. Go out on the green side. Gonna put my engine settings back up and boost a bit to get clear of the mass lock. Delivery scan, yeah, that's what I thought. Just checking I got my head for hard point set correctly. And we're good to go.
All clear. Flight control signing off.
Embarking on your journey behind it yet. Okay. That's just reminding us that we're basically, once we've done this mission, we're no longer little trainees, and we'll be in the galaxy at large, effectively. Right, because I've installed a fuel scoop, if I'm flying close enough to the sun, you can see I'm automatically refueling here. You've got to watch out for the heat level, don't let it get too high. And we're nearly fully refueled, so there we go. That's my next target. Now, something worth noting, you'll see where it says fueled at the bottom right. The number to the side of fuel is how much fuel how many tons of fuel you're burning per hour. So I'm burning 1.12 tons of fuel per hour. The bars underneath that on ships like this that have quite small fuel tanks, each one of those blocks represents a ton. So the little bar above that, which I don't know if you can see, it looks like it's underlining the 1.12 hours, but a little bit's missing from underneath the H. That's the current ton of fuel I'm working through, the current block. So if I were to fly for an hour, I would use up just over one of those blocks. The reason the first block is highlighted blue is that's highlighted to me how much of the fuel in my tank I'm going to burn by making the jump that I'm currently locked on to do. So if I make that jump now, you'll see when we come out on the other side, that top block will have pretty much entirely disappeared, because it will be burnt in doing this jump. This is always worth keeping an eye on that fuel gauge. There you go, see the fuel's been burnt now. And now we're going to just refuel. Whilst we're flying past this, I'm going to have a look at where we need to go next. So there's our mission point, Michelson Port. Let's lock our destination.
Fuel scooping complete.
And line it up. And I've gotten a little bit too close again because I wasn't paying attention, so we're going to be doing a bit of a loop-the-loop. Yeah, we're still too hot. We'll be fine now. Let's try and come in facing the entrance though, as best we can. That's not too bad. Boosting towards it. Go to contacts.
Pop-up Hotel Echo.
Request docking.
Weapon fire restrictions are in
And we're going to pad
place.
36.
Landing authorized. Proceed to landing pad 36.
Okay, we're going way too fast at the moment. Speed limit's 100. You can go in faster, but if you hit anything, you get in trouble. But by slowing down a bit and then dropping the landing gear, we slow right down. Just in time for the entrance. I can see pad 36 is just to our right there. So, flip her over. Slow down. That shouldn't be too far off. Ooh. He says, forgetting it again how manoeuvrable these things are. There we are, not too bad.
Contact. Engines disengaged.
Okay, so we can go to the mission board. And there we go, complete the mission. And there we are. We have now got 150 grand.
Incoming mission critical message.
And another mission message. Right. That was the one we already had. Pilots Federation, so here we go. Wishes you luck in your new journey through the stars. As you progress beyond the requirements for access to Pilots Federation space, your Pilots Federation district permit has been revoked. Any ships or modules currently located within the district must be transferred to a station of your choice at your request. So that's all done. That's basically saying we can no longer go to where we were, the safe zone. We're now out in the wild areas. So, what time is it? 9:20. So I want to make sure I've got this wrapped up by 10. So I'm happy to do another couple of missions, or if there's any particular requests of what you might like me to do. Happy to give it a shot. In fact, I'll give you 5 minutes so I could do with wetting my whistle. Is there a full stop control? Yeah, throttle 0. Basically. I don't think there's not a full stop specific command, I don't think. It's just set your throttle to 0, but that's why I said I like to set my throttle so that I have a separate button to put it in reverse. So the 0 on the throttle is always 0. In normal space, it actually is 0. But if you're in Super Cruise, then you can't actually stop. You'll always be travelling at a certain factor of light speed. You can slow right down to something like 300 and some odd meters per second or something, but you'll always be moving. It might be 300 kilometres a second, I'm not quite sure. But it would always be moving, otherwise you wouldn't be in Super Cruise, you'd be in normal space. And obviously in Hyper Cruise it's one jump, so it's not really relevant. More freight missions, yeah, could definitely do that. What have we got here? Support a famine by delivering 2 food unit cartridges. These are acquire things. That's acquire. That's huge quantities. That we haven't done the requirements for yet. Right, let's go for something that's attached to a faction though. What do we have here? Deliver. Okay, right, now this one here, big money. So this is one of those collect salvage, set speed to 0. Okay, fair play. Black box salvage operation, but no, we said we'd do cargo, didn't we? Let's do. That's delivering goods to. Okay, so it's in the same area. So this one's quite. We haven't got to go far here. We've just got to go from station to station within the same system. But we've got those watchouts there. You've got a hostile ship could be sent against you, and if we fail the mission, we could get fined. So, and the fine is only 495 credits. But we might actually get into a situation with this one where we get attacked, which would allow me to show you how to get out of what's known as an interdiction, which is where someone tries to drag you out of hyperspace in order to blow you up. So we'll accept that one. And we'll pick up this station, collect the items, and we've got them in our cargo hold. Is there anything else? These are acquire ones, so no, it doesn't look like it. So it looks like it's just that one for now. But what I'm going to do before we start it, as I might have mentioned, I'm just going to take a very quick break, and then I'll be back and we'll do this for half hour, 40 minutes or so before I wrap up for the evening. So, where are we? Where am I? There we go. I will see you guys very soon. Okay, time to get going. So, as we're before we launch, let's set our destination. So we know it's in this system, that's where we're going. We'll unlock the destination. Thank you very much, welcome back to you too. And we'll go ahead and launch, and whilst we're launching I'll talk to you about what I mentioned, which was interdiction. So you can buy a module for your ship which allows you to interdict other ships that are travelling at supercruise. So travelling within the system at high speed basically. And you can attempt to pull them out of that supercruise so that you can attack them.
Clear for departure.
Effectively, the person trying to pull you out has to keep you within a target reticule, and you have to try and, to escape it, have to keep yourself on an escape vector. So it will come up on the screen as sort of a blue target that you have to track. If either one of you manages to do that task successfully whilst the other is unable to, then you win that person wins the interdiction attempt. It may happen to us, it may not. If it does, you'll see what I mean. I think given the value of this mission, given it's such short distance, it's quite possible. But we'll see. Unfortunately, it seems my controls are playing silly buggers again. I can't boost for some reason. Bear with me a moment.
Scan detected.
I don't
You
want
are in
that.
a no-fire zone.
I know
Return
that.
weapons immediately.
Oh, my landing gear's still down, that's why I can't boost. What an idiot. Right, let's lock on and get into Super Cruise. See how we do. It's not a massive distance away,
Drive charging.
but it will take us a little bit of time, a few minutes, a minute or two to get there, so it's enough time for someone to try and interdict us. And more likely than not, they'll try it as we're approaching the station when we're already going fairly slowly. If not, we should hopefully make it to the station safely and sell our goods. But we'll see. You can see as we're accelerating how quickly the timer drops. And now that we're starting to get close, we'll have to start backing off the speed once we get to that 10-second marker. Actually, we've got quite a way to go yet, but there we go. Right, the important thing is if we do get interdicted, we want to keep the power, the throttle in the blue zone, so we're as manoeuvrable as possible. Otherwise, it's impossible to track the escape trajectory. As it is, we're okay so far. We might get away with it. Yeah, not looking too bad. Yeah, we're pretty much there now. I think we've got away with it. Which is a shame in some ways, yeah. Yeah, we've made it. Would have been nice to demonstrate that.
DeLacy, Papa Hotel Echo. Be aware, weapon fire restrictions are in place in this sector. Request approved. Vector for approach to landing pad 01.
Ooh, pad 1. almost makes you feel important. Okay, let's drop the landing gear so we don't forget.
Landing gear deployed.
Visual acquired. Heading is good.
And our pad is directly above us. Ooh, that was almost a nasty overshoot. There we go.
Landing
We're in.
complete. Ship secured.
So, mission board. And we can sell that, well, complete the mission with those items. And we now have a choice for this mission. So we can take 37,000 credits, some increased reputation, some increased influence. We can take 26,000 credits, but 2 units of buyer's waste and some increased reputation and influence, or lots of reputation, 10,000 credits and some influence. I'm just going to take the big money. Job done. Let's see what we have available here. So, just take the big money, yeah, absolutely. We've got 6 units of basic medicines needed at HR 8061. Is there anything else for the same destination? Not in this list, but let's take that 'cause it's good money. Might get hostile ships. Let's give that a go. Oh, let's have it all. Okay, and let's see if there's any other missions for 8061. There's one there. That's a black bolt, a legal black bolt salvage. We're not going to do that one. Any other deliveries? Nope. Nope. Doesn't look like it. Okay, that's fine. Let's double check HR. No, okay. So this is again another one that could get us in some trouble. It's a lot of money given what level we're at in the game. So this could land us in some poop, but never mind. Let's go to transactions. Ooh. Yeah, that's that. And open the galaxy map. That's where we need to go to, so we'll just check that. So we'll go into it and see if we can set a course straight away directly to the arrival point. Right, so this one, there's 2 stars you can see in this system. Whenever there's 2 stars, there's always a chance you'll have to travel a fair distance, and we do on this one. The arrival point where we're going to is here. So it's on a planet that's in orbit of the second star, or in orbit of a planet that is in orbit of the second star. And the distance from the arrival point, which will be this star, is 7,552 light seconds. So we're going to be travelling for probably a couple of minutes between that star and here, which is fine, but it gives more, obviously, opportunity for naughty people to come and try and borrow what we've taken or what we've got on board. So let's see how we get on.
Landing coupler disengaged. Follow the greens on your way out.
I will follow the greens on my way out. I will try. These thrusters are so sensitive. Let's align with the target. And try and get out of the mass lock. Now, on the upside, it's fairly early in the game, so even if I fail the interdiction, we should have sufficient weapon ability to either attack back or put them off enough, or scare them off enough that we can then turn tail and run. But we'll see how we get on.
Clear. FSB out.
Frameshift drive.
That's assuming we get attacked. It might not happen. Knowing Farm Like a Bomb, though, I'm guessing he would, and Genie, if he's still there, you wouldn't mind if I got attacked, because it's the equivalent of a crash, isn't it? So, and you boys like a good crash. Let's scoop some fuel. Not that we really need it now, but we might as well whilst we're aligning ourselves. And here we go. We're on the way. So again, we're not likely to hit any problems whilst we're going at this kind of speed between the two locations. It'll be when we slow down on the approach. Would be when trouble would hit. That's if it does hit. We'll do a discovery scan on this sector whilst we're here. Now that's done, I'm going to flick to combat mode just in case. Next time I stream, I will show you about discovery scanning and what that does. In fact, thinking about it, we don't need the advanced scanner to get some data of value. If it weren't for the fact I think I'd get caught out, I'd stop and do a discovery scan. I think you just need the advanced scanner for in fact you might not even need the advanced scanner anymore. So that just gives you more distance that you can look at. I will do some research on that and then I'll talk to you a bit more about exploration next time. So far so good. About halfway. So as a result we're starting to slow down even though I haven't throttled down. The system automatically starts to adjust your speed down as you get closer. Otherwise you'd never be able to judge some of the bigger distances you have to travel. You'd never get it right. So now you can see because we're slowing down, that second count, the seconds are counting down are not much longer than actual seconds, because we're in the process of slowing. There's a few ships around us that are having a look, or that are close enough to have a look. No trouble so far, eh? typically, if it's a computer interdiction, you'll get a message first telling you that basically they're going to attack you. So you get a couple of seconds warning. And we're down to 10 seconds on the clock, so we'll slow it down a little bit. Middle of the blue zone as usual. Okay, and that's just a message from a local cruise liner. There is some traffic around here, I can see from all the bright white flickery lights. But I think we're getting away with this one as well. Right, it went to funny. So we had the dotted lines rather than the solid yellow line. That's because it was the wrong side of the planet and it couldn't be seen. By it, I mean the destination. And we have made it, I think. Yep. Let's get within 7.5 kilometres.
DeLacy, Papa's Hotel
Okay.
Echo. This is Federal Flight Control. Submit to random security scans on your approach. Okay, Commander. Land on pad 1-3.
I will do that.
Landing gear deployed.
Regulate your speed and maintain current vector.
There we are, pad 1-3 just ahead of us, on the left. Slow it down a bit. Not bad. We're in random FYI, the station named after Dirk
Disembark
Vermount,
when ready.
the first Belgian astronaut in space. Nice to know. Thank you very much. Thank you for that little tidbit, I imagine. Most appreciated. Learn something new every day. And there we go, mission complete. And we'll have the money.
Incoming message.
Ooh, we have a message. We've probably either pleased someone or upset someone. Okay, we have been promoted to a peddler, so that's a trading rank. Freight rank. And our reputation is improved with Edcathal Dynamic Systems, which is who we did the job for. Good to know. Right, let's get another one in. Gonna have to watch this whole stream. Why is that? You missed a few bits. I'll tell you what we'll have to do is once you're a bit more comfortable with the game and you've got through all the, you got out the whole tutorial thing. Yeah, there's a lot of information. Sorry about that. I haven't even touched on the galaxy map yet. and like exploration and all that. We haven't really done anything combat wise other than the tutorial. Yeah, there is a lot. But yeah, once you're a bit more comfortable, we can enter an instance together and fly in a wing and just go from place to place together for a little while to get the hang of it. It's an average 10 hours of learning, Cliff. I'd say it's at least that, yeah. You've just about got your controls sorted, but that's a good start, mate. That's a good start. Yeah, it's there is a lot of learning, right, let's have a look and see what we've got in the way of jobs to do here, and see if we can get some combined. So, any combined delivery jobs? HR5 852. So no, I don't want to do that. Right. I might be a bit naughty here, because I said I wasn't going to do a Horizon job, but I've got two jobs in the same sector. One's a Horizon, one's a landing on it, one's a planetfall job, and one's a standard. And if I can carry courier job, deliver data, so that's data, so there's no resource required. HR. And that's data as well. It's big money. I'm going to do it. I'm afraid you're going to have to watch me land on a planet, mate. H526. Yeah, it's not a bad idea to make a note of the critical keybinds if you can't get all the important stuff on your stick. Right, what else do we have that might be 8526? Nope. 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 There's another one there. Oh, that's a black box salvage. I don't want to do that. Nope. I think that's the lot. Okay. So we're going to 2 stations in 8526. Sladik Vista and Matucci Hub. Now what I might do whilst I'm here, because I haven't used any of my cargo space, so I can go to the commodities market, have a look at what I can buy here. Let's see if any of these are consumed by 8526. Can I do a compare? HR. Is it HRT 8526? No, okay. HR 8526. HRT. HR 8526. What do you mean no results found? Oh man. Nah, it's not going to help me. So galactic average. Average price is 108. So I'd make 30 profit on those. Let's see where the big profit is in this lot. The most profitable will be geological equipment. HR 8526 is unknown. So let's buy some of those.
Cargo hold at
See if we can make any money. Yeah, markets from the place you've been at, yeah. When I started, yeah. Yeah, I think you're right, unless you buy data, yeah. Right. Let's give it a go. We've got a chance of making some profit on these. Oh, I should have set my route. It's all good, we've got time. Let's get the galaxy map up. We're at HRS. Where's my missions? There we go. And we don't even have a system map, so we're going to have to just route there and then find our destination, which puts you at a slightly higher risk, unfortunately, because we're going to have to look. Let's get out of here. So, how many jumps we got to do here? Just the 2. Just need to get clear of the mass lock as usual. We are clear of the mass lock, so let's make a jump.
You have exceeded the station exclusion zone. FFC signing off.
I'd hope so. I'm about to jump.
4, 3, 2, 1.
And throttle back so that we don't get flying into a star. There's our destination, so we'll
Fuel scooping.
okay. We'll just scan this area whilst we're here. 11 bodies. We have some data added to the codex.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
It's good to know. Right. And let's just cool down a second. We've got a bit of steam going on here.
Frameshift
And off we go.
charging.
To be fair, it's pretty hard to boil a Sidewinder, but still better safe than sorry. And I'm going to flick back to combat mode just in case we come across someone unfriendly as soon as we land in the sector, in the system. Okay, mission updated. Right, so that normally means delivery bonus. Manager Roy. See what Manager Roy has to say. Oh, come on. So the delivery to the Matucci hub. If we do it within the next 25 minutes, we get a bonus of 20,000 credits. So let's do the Matucci hub one first. Which is the closest destination anyway. So we'll lock that and get on with it. I thought the alternative location was for things like tourists, like passenger missions, mostly. I tend to have that on passenger missions more often than not. There are, but you're right. There certainly were ones where it's like, if you like another faction says, "Oh, if you betray that faction and bring it here instead, we'll give you more." But I mean, I haven't played the game for a while, so I couldn't tell you for certain. Yeah. Yeah, because sometimes the trouble was you had to make the decision quite quickly, didn't you? And you couldn't always tell if it was a sensible distance away, if it was even in the same system, you know. Thank you very much. You're a wealth of knowledge, sir. Let's try and line up nicely with the entrance, if we can. It's not going to be too bad, I don't think. That's pretty good. That was too early.
Hotel Echo. This is Federal Flight Control. You're clear for approach. Ensure you
Okay.
submit a request before touching down, Commander. Unable, Commander. Advance your ship to 7,500 meters.
I've done it already, I've done it. It would be nice if the game gave such information about the locations, a plaque or something in the station. Yeah, they might get it one day, you never know. Ooh, cheeky.
Landing gear deployed.
Pad 44, immediately to our right, I think. Oh no. Where's it gone? I'm being special, it's over there, isn't it? Right at the end. Yeah. Four hours later, I think you're ready to start. Oh, bless you. Right, let's get this done. Then go do a planetfall.
Solid contact. Securing ship. You're all checked in, Commander. Enjoy your visit.
So we should achieve the bonus. Yes. Oh, hello. Did we get the bonus? I think we did, yeah. Right. Now, we've got one more to do in this area. But let's first of all see if they will buy our geological equipment. Oh, yeah, that's good. If we sell all 10, we'll make some profits. Not a lot, but we'll take it. And that reduces our weight, which helps with our speed. And certainly our jump range. Let's see where the next destination is. And oh wow, okay, we've got a bit of travelling to do here. Oh, this is going to take a few minutes. I didn't look at that. Okay, 73,000 light seconds away. So this is going to definitely be the last thing we do. It's going to take a while to get there. And if we're going to be stung, this will be the journey it happens on. Plenty of time for the game to think of naughty things to do to us.
Clear of the landing pad. You may leave when ready.
So we won't be messing around here. We need to get on with it. That's the target. Boosting too early.
This is a traffic warning, Commander. Please make way for oncoming ships.
When will I get a new ship? Probably the next stream. Not tonight, because this will be the last job I need to wrap up. But yeah, I would imagine the next stream we should have enough cash to get something half decent. Right, let's go.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
We'll keep it in hot mode just in case. No indecent ships here. Oh, well, that's good. Should just be a straight run then, but it'll take a bit of time, and it's a good example of some of the travel you have to do in this game. It's not unusual to be sort of doing very little for several minutes at a time as you fly between things, but I quite like it because it sort of adds a bit of, makes the game a little bit more relaxing, and it adds to the scale of it, like the believability of the distances you're travelling, that it's a a fairly believable representation of the Milky Way. Yeah, it's a surface base, yeah. Gonna have to try and remember how to make planetfall without making an idiot of myself. Glad I put left that module in. I did leave the module in, didn't I? That's the shield thing. Ooh. Yeah, I must have done, otherwise it wouldn't let me do the mission. First ship is VCX. No, it's supposed to be Massey 2. Go JCB. Go John Deere. See, this is just a couple of minutes of travel here. I could very quickly actually show you the galaxy map to give you an idea of scale if you haven't already studied it. So we have travelled on this. These grey lines are kind of places we've been. As you know, we've been to Matet and HR 8061 and Fjordjord we came through. This, as I'm zooming out, as you can see, more and more stars and more and more stars and more and more stars and more and more stars, and oh my god, oh dear, wow, isn't that quite large? Let's zoom it up here. That is the galaxy, the whole Milky Way. It's massive and barely touched in terms of discovery within the game. Yeah, 400 billion systems to visit, and bear in mind each one of those probably has 3 or 4 or 10 planets around, whatever. No, I really wasn't kidding. I mean, this game's been out for years now and thousands of players, and there you go, 0.04% explored. A perpetual world running 24/7 on these servers, and for the number of years that have been spent on this game and man hours have gone into it, and it's 0.04 explored. It's really not hard to fly in any given direction for a couple of hours and find things that nobody's ever looked at before. It's insane. Absolutely insane. And exploration is truly exploration. I mean, once you're outside of the bubble, the area that humanity in the game exists within, there are no starports. There's nothing. There's just nothing. Yeah, absolutely. If the game is still around, there will still be stuff to explore. It's just immense. We're not far off now. I did target the base, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Good. Now, Planetfall does put a bit more pressure on the GPU, so I'm hoping I've got the settings at a sensible enough level that it won't make the stream go funny. But we'll soon find out. I swear you must be. Do you own Google? Or are you a Googler? And like an epic Googler, or you just happen to know all of this stuff? This is very impressive. Just Google. Oh, you could have said I know it all. You could have really convinced us you were a walking encyclopedia. I imagine some of them are just random. Pardon me. Oh dear, that was terrible. I do apologise. Came out of nowhere, that. Right, we're getting there. So I need to most from the earlier version of the game. Yeah. So as we get close, I want to make sure that I've got the base lined up quite a way away from me. I don't want to be flying straight at it. I need to be coming around the planet, so I need to get the angle right. The rest might be random, yeah. Yeah, you need to get the angle right so the base is kind of away from you. It's at least quarter of the planet kind of thing away from you as you enter the atmosphere. So you have to fly to it. You have to take an angle of descent to it. Right, it's on the other side of the planet at the moment, so that's good. So I want to get to a point at which I can just about see it when I enter the atmosphere. Won't be long now, I don't think. There we go. Right, let's get into planetary descent. There we are. And we'll keep the bar steady until we get into orbital cruise, which will happen any second now.
Orbital flight engaged.
There we go, we're in orbital flight, so we can keep the angle at around 25 degrees descent, or less. Let's actually pitch up a bit and get a little bit closer before I drop. .500 kilometers away. We get into a good point. I want basically nose down at 25 degrees and be on the right line for the base at 25 degrees nose down, which is coming up about now. Then we'll enter into drop and we'll be on a perfect course. And when we drop, we won't be far from it. 70 kilometers away, that's not too bad. Now we're on glide. Two minutes and we can. Why tell me now? 2 minutes to make the drop. And glide complete at perfect 7.5 kilometers. So contacts, Snadic Vista, request docking. There it is.
Control is in operation at this surface port. Observe docking reservation protocols. Landing authorized. Assigned to landing pad 07.
Now, are these outward facing or inward facing pad? They're inward facing pads, so I'm going in the right direction, that's good. Let's drop the landing gear now.
Descend to flight level 300.
Landing gear deployed.
Got to be careful of the gravity. Pulls you down quicker than you expect. There's not a lot of gravity here, but there's enough to make it noticeable.
Scan detected.
Excellent. And we didn't get any trouble at all.
Landing successful. Engines disengaged.
So, let's chuck this in. I don't think I made that landing within 2 minutes, to be fair. Nah, it's just a basic payout. Still, monies be monies. So we've done alright this evening. I mean, we've gone from having, at the very start of the game, 1,000 credits, to having 381,000 credits, and having upgraded this ship to a decent level whereby it can travel a fair distance fairly quickly. So I'm okay leaving it there, I think. I'm quite happy with that. I think next time we might get into, as I said, a bit more detail around the galaxy map and travel in general. But for now, I think I think we can call that a success. So I presume that the same again on Wednesday would be acceptable. That's been an eye-opener. I'm glad. Glad it's been of some use, even if it's just to scare the hell out of you. But yeah, I'm thinking the same again on Wednesday. Obviously tomorrow I'll be tied up. Yeah, good for Wednesday. Good stuff. Obviously I'll be tied up tomorrow night. But yeah, let's aim for the same on Wednesday. Right. Thank you very much for joining me this evening. If you enjoyed yourself, then please do feel free to like the stream. And then obviously you'll be notified when I'm next online. Yeah, see you in Sandy Bay tomorrow indeed. And I'll be uploading this video to YouTube probably tomorrow at some point, or Wednesday, if you missed any of it. If not, obviously you'll be able to get it on Twitch pretty much instantaneously for at least a couple of weeks. So yeah, thank you all very much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening, or whatever time of day it is for you. And I look forward to seeing you again on Wednesday. Take care of yourselves. Thanks very much. Bye bye.